The purpose of this video is to give you an overview of the GeoSync Go Plus app on a mobile device. We will be using an Android device, but the steps are identical for an iOS device. This video is going on the assumption that you have already installed the app on your device. If you've not, then you can review our installation video for the steps to do so. Select the app to open it up. If you are a registered user, then you would sign in from this screen. If you are using the public maps, and that's publicly available data, then you can click on the Discover Maps in the top right and select one of those maps. This is also the screen that you would come to if your agency or organization has made maps available via the Discover Maps. You would need your sign-in information to access those. We're going to be looking at the Kentucky map. The Kentucky map has quite a bit of data that's been made publicly available, and you can see those layers of data by clicking on the menu button at the top left. We'll expand the layers selection by clicking the plus at the end of the line, and you'll notice all of the layers of data that have been made available to you. Choosing the box in front of each layer of data turns that data on. It may not become immediately viewable depending on the zoom level that's been set on the data. Some data is so large that to turn it on at a level of 10, as we see here, would be too much data to preview on the screen. If you've clicked on a layer and turned that on and do not see it on the map, then you can zoom in on the map, and that will turn on when it gets to the applicable zoom level. Clicking the menu button again will hide the menu. You can zoom in a number of ways. You can tap the plus to zoom in on the map incrementally and click the minus to zoom out. There's also the pinch zoom available to you, and that is where you pinch the screen. If you move two fingers closer together, it zooms out, and if you move two fingers away from each other, it will zoom in on the map. To identify features on a map, you simply click or tap on the feature. There will be a key field that will display when you've selected a feature. You'll also notice in the bottom right that we have a green arrow. If you tap on that, that will open up a window that gives you the basics on the selected feature. You can also come up onto your top status bar and click on the I for information, and it will expand the data on that selected feature. Hit the X in the top right. It'll return you to the map view. To hide the small identification box, you simply click on the downward arrow. To view your data in a different format, you can click the grid view icon on the top status and then choose the layer that you wish to see. Depending on your zoom level and your location on the map, you could see more or less records. If we close the grid view and zoom farther out, then you'll notice that when we go back to our grid view, we have more records that are available to us. And that's because the grid view is driven by the map view. Additionally, the layers that you have turned on to view in your menu and in the layers section will also drive what's available to you in the grid view. So you'll need to come into your layers and turn specific sets of data on before you go to the grid view and expect to see those available to you. To reposition the map on the screen, you can press, hold, and then drag to pan around on your map. You can also do a search to find a specific location. There are some pre-built searches built into the public maps, into the Discover Maps. Click your menu button, choose searches, and you'll notice on this particular one we have Kentucky city name and Kentucky county. You choose the search that you want, type in the data that you're looking for, such as a county name on this search. Your responses will come up, and as you select one of those, the map will automatically zoom to the appropriate level to show that feature that you have chosen. We'll close the menu here so that we can see that. You have zoomed into the Eubank city of Pulaski County. We can also search by a specific city name. So if we wanted to find Lexington, we type that in. We have one result. We'll select that result and it will zoom to that location on the map. We can use the back arrow here to come back into our search, or we can shrink that and see our options available on the menu. In addition to layers of data, we also have tile sets. And tile sets are typically imagery. You'll notice we have the Kentucky topos on this map, the base flood elevation, the Kentucky base map, as well as the WMS flood hazard. You can turn any or all of these on, and of course, depending on what zoom level you are, that will drive exactly what you see. You also have the icons to the left of both the tile sets and the layers. These are drawing order, so if you want to make these a priority, you would click the up arrow. If you wanted them to draw after other feature sets, you could click the down facing arrow. To return to the screen and choose another Discover map, you'll simply click this arrow here at the top right. That will take you back to your sign-in screen where you can choose Discover Maps and view another featured map. We'll take a look at the Fayette County map for just a moment so that you can get an idea of the difference between zoom levels, the data that you have available, etc. On this particular map, we have an address and a find street search, and our layers are those layers that are particular to Fayette County. And we have specific imagery backgrounds such as the Fayette parcels, Fayette zoning. And then depending on what zoom level you have, you could see more or less of that data. You'll notice as we zoom out, we see less of that. As we zoom in, those layers of data will turn on and become available to us to identify and see more information about. Another interesting layer on this map is the address layer. That particular layer does not turn on until you've zoomed in quite tightly. It has quite a bit of data involved. So as we get to level 18, you'll notice the roads are on, and now we have these squares. These are our address points. We can select each one of those to get a display of the actual address. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of information that's attached to that, such as your magisterial representative, the legislative district that you're in, etc. And don't forget that grid view. When you're zoomed in, you can select the grid view for that address layer and see all of the records that go along with that. And you'll click, hold, and drag to the left to span the various columns and see the additional information. Be sure to check us out at www.geosyncgo.com for more videos, how-to, and to see more capabilities of the GeoSync Go Plus program.